Hi guys, welcome to the screencast. In our previous screencast, we talked about controllers. We were able to build our own controller for the user. At the moment, we can create new user, get a user, delete a user, update a user. We can also do all those using our route because we added routing to the controllers during the previous class. Now, the next thing for us to do is undo the validation and undo our errors properly, because at the moment if we are to run our application and try creating a user by going to our Postman, okay, let's try and create this user we have here. But this was from the test I was running. So if I try creating a user right now, if I send this, that user get created on the database. However, if I try creating this user twice by clicking the send again, realize our application has hung or has frozen. But the truth is, it has not frozen, but this has encountered an error which is not displayed to the user. So the user in this case will not be able to understand what's wrong with our application or what he needs to do to fix this kind of error it's having. So if you go back to our terminal, however, we see the error here, unhandled promise rejection. This is not explanatory enough even to the programmer. So what we're going to do in this lesson is to create our middlewares that will help us handle this error properly and also show a more explanatory error message to the user. So I'll go ahead and close this terminal and delete it. Then start my DB again. And by the way, if you don't want to be closing and restarting your DB, you can just install Node. I will show you how to do that. If you're interested, I will show you how to install NodeMon rather. Install NodeMon to help you restart your server. So what I'll do at the moment is create a folder called middlewares, and inside the middlewares, of course, I'll have my index.js file. Then I'll have a file I will name all purpose error handler. So what we're going to be doing in this file is create a standard, or create a format at which our errors will be appearing to the user. So the first thing I will do, of course, is export the default. Export default, and export default to be a function. It takes the error, as a parameter, a request, a response, and next. So inside the error, we return status, a request status, which will be our error status, or the status, which will be sent to the user in this format to be an object or JSON object with error as the key. It takes in a message from the error dot message. Pretty much does it. Sorry about that. Error dot message. So of course, let me just disable this so that there won't be any flag in our code. Go ahead and disable this. Okay, now inside my index.js, of course, I'll just export default. All purpose error handler. from the file. So that being done, the next thing for us to do, this is being flagged. We can disable this ES link working. These are ES links working. I just disable it on this file. Then we want to add this property to our application. So we go to our app.js. We import the middleware, of course. Import this middleware from middlewares, of course. That's been done. Then we now use it to handle our errors. Right, add a comment and errors. Then it will be our app we use using the use method. Our purpose around that. Okay. Now that's been done. Next thing I want to do is my middlewares. I'll create a file called user validation, and this will contain all our validations for the user. Now, before I go ahead and do that, I want to draw attention to the models, because in our models, these are the set of rows we specified in the models, and those rows has to be validated before any content can be posted into a database. For example, now the email has to be a string, and it has to be a unique property, must have a unique property. That means emails cannot be the same, and the email must be imputed into the computer into the database when creating a new user, meaning that our email cannot be null. Same thing goes for our username, and similar goes for our password. So these are the fields we need to validate when creating a user or updating a user, and that's why we encountered that error when we try creating a user with the same name twice. However, that error message wasn't clear enough, and at the moment we want to go ahead and construct our error message properly. So the first thing I will do is export default. It should be an object, and create a method called check require field, or check require user field. Okay, so that will be a method, like I said, takes a request, response, then the next, using the arrow method, and now we're going to set a variable called required payload. Let's go require payload parameters. It should be an empty array at the moment. Now, before I go ahead and work on any other thing, I want to create a constant outside here, which I will call the body params. So the body params is the parameter we need to fill before creating a new user. The parameters are username, email, and we have the password. So okay, that being set, now we want to check if those body params are inside our payload. So just look through those body params using the for loop, or for each rather, using the for each, and each of them will be params, of course. And if checking the object keys inside the request. Remember, we have a request when we're creating a new user, sending a request. Because the body includes a param, meaning maybe it includes the username, the email, or the password. So if it doesn't, we'd like to set our error message to be grab payload dot push name of the param, it might be username, email, or password is required. No, this is params, not param. Let's call it param, actually, it's better. Is required. And if we do that, we would like to send the error. So for us to send it, we want to check if this has a length. So if it has a length, that means that there's an error message that needs to be displayed. So if it has a length, our error will look like this. New error, JSON stringify. What are we stringifying? This request payload. Since it's an array, we want to try and turn it back into a string. So once we do that, we set the error, the status to be 400. Then we return using the next, return the error. Simple as that. Sorry, not bad. Simple as that. And if there's no error, it will be a good thing. Return next. Just go ahead and create a user. Simple. So my bad. I just realized the error. The error was that we try returning inside the for each. So let's rectify that. That was just an oversight by me. It should be outside the for each. We should return outside the for each once we've checked if all the parameters has been inputted. Go into our index file, export default as user validation from user validation file. Simple. So now to use this new method we just created called check required user field, what we do is we use it in our route, which is the user route. We want to use it when we are creating a user, when we are posting a user. So the first thing we do, of course, is import user validation from Midwest. Now, since we might have a lot of functions method here, we have to specify which method we want to use. So the next thing I want to do is structure the user validation. So if I do structure this user validation, I will structure and get the name of this function right here. So that's what I'm getting at the moment. So once I get that, I would like to make sure that is run first before the user is created. So what I'm doing is I make sure the check required user field is checked before running the controller. Okay, try sending it now. Yeah, now as we can see, it said username is required, email is required, password is required. Okay, let's add the username. Okay, email is required. Let's add the email. Then password is required. Let's add the password. Now we have another error, which will be that our username is not unique and our email is not unique. That's another validation we can write and fix and display the error, because if we go back into our terminal, we realize we have this unhandled premise error again, which is as a result of the unique properties. So we can go ahead and create the validation for that particular error, which is checking if the username or the email is unique. However, I won't bore you with all that. You can go ahead and do that by yourself. I will do that on my own too, and you can always see the result in my GitHub account. So that's pretty much it on how to create validation in Express and also validate the routes in which you're passing your parameters. A quick recap will be that we went ahead and created our midways. We created all-purpose midway to handle how our errors will be formatted. If you realize the error, we have error message and error message here. That's how the formatting here is being shown. Okay, let me cancel this. That's how the formatting is being shown, error and error message. So you can change the format of your errors and of course display it. So the next thing we did was create our user validation method that validates the user input, and we exported it using the index.js. Now the first thing we did was add the made our app use the new way of handling error using the format we specified, and of course added the method for checking the validation of the user into the route by putting it placing the name of the method before creating a user. So that's pretty much it, and thank you for your time. The next tutorial I'll be making will be on creating or writing tests. We'll be using jest and super tests to write our tests, individual tests for our controllers. So stay with me, stay tuned. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.